Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. I'm out here checking out the ditch garden because it finally rained last night. It's our first decent rain probably all year. It's definitely the only rain over 2 inches. We got about 2¼ inches last night. So what I'm gonna do is give you an update on, well, we'll start up by the trees there, work our way through all of the gardens and all the stuff planted behind the barn as well. The oak trees are doing fantastic. Like this shoot right here, that's over 1 foot long. These tend to grow about 1 foot a year. I think it's going to grow about 18 inches this year. And you can see this entire grassy area where I sprayed with the generic tenacity. There's bare spots here and there. That's where it's killed off all the weeds, and hopefully the bluegrass will fill all this stuff in. Yeah, this is doing really nice. It's going to be real interesting this fall to see the difference between the caliper of the trunk and the height from last year as opposed to this year. I think these are going to grow a lot this year. Spots like this, and right here, and here, and here, those were all solid weeds, and the weeds are gone, and you can see that the bluegrass is starting to fill them in. At some point, this is going to be a real nice lawn, and it'll be a lot easier to take care of. And this is our tree that I cut back way back to there, about 6 inches high, and this is its comeback growth. I'm not sure how tall this is going to get this year, but I'm really glad it's making a comeback. Oops. Yeah, this must have all been foxtail around here. It's all dead now. Same with there. All of the older trees are doing exceptionally well this year. This is their 3rd year? Yes, 3rd year. Okay, here's the corn that I planted. There's one over there, and you can see the rest here. I planted a little bit of this in pots, and I actually put a couple seeds in right there to see if I can replace one that I pulled out. It looks like there's one back here too. Let me see. That does look like corn, but who knows? I was looking at my split-beard blue stem, and there was foxtail in amongst it, and it actually could be the majority of this is foxtail. So what I did was spray this with Weed Stop, which is a weedy grass killer, and we'll see if that kills like half of this. Hopefully it doesn't kill all of this. Hopefully there's some split-beard blue stem in here. Yes! Yeah, atta girl! All right, back here, the clematis is fading, and the hollyhock, there's one right there. Right in here was the only place this hollyhock flowered last year, but it's flowering everywhere this year. It's going to be really cool. There's our lollipop lilies. This whole area might be gone in just a few weeks, so hopefully I can get the bulbs for those saved, but who knows? Volunteer black-eyed Susan, volunteer hollyhock, and then we come to the toilet garden area. Hopefully I can save the bulbs here, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with the zinnias. I hope they flower real soon because we're going to have a dozer come in here and remove the whole side of this hill at some point real soon. So it'd be nice to get a little bit of a show out of it, but I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We're getting a little bit of flowering going right there, but everything is so stressed out from the heat we had, I'm not sure how well that's going to do. Here's all the stuff that I have yet to plant, and this is replacement corn. I planted this about 3 days ago, and that's probably a weed, but it looks like we have one there and one there. This is just going to fill in the weak spots in the places where I planted that corn. This is another corn area, and you can see there's several right there that are doing pretty good. I'll probably put most of those potted ones down in here. The zinnias again, they are right at full shade where they're shading the ground. So these will not need watering again. And these right here are the little mini snapdragons. They're kind of clustered. Not real sure how well these are going to do, but should put on some kind of a show. And the hollyhocks. These seeds were from a crimson hollyhock, but we got a yellow here, and we got some pink ones over there. Not sure why that is, but these are just loaded with bees. So this is going to put on quite the show as these all start flowering. Purple love grass is doing really well this year. This is its 3rd year. I really need to fill in these weak spots here, but I guess I'll have to do that next year. This puts on its big show probably about a month from now, maybe a little bit more than that. It sends up them fluffy seed heads, and it's all purple, kind of looks like a purple fog in here. The daylilies have not flowered yet, so got that to look forward to as well. And again, with these hollyhocks, got a yellow one there. There's been a yellow one here off and on for years. Actually, it was right back there. So this probably came from seed from that. And there's one of the red ones, which is not really red. And there's a pink one. Pretty cool looking. Hanging baskets took a little battering in the rain, and it actually revived the gerberia, the Gerber daisy. And now for a look at the ditch garden. The Canada rye has gone to flower. I'm not really sure what kind of lilies these are. We got them at a big box store many, many years ago. But these are just white lilies, and they have not flowered yet. This is the June grass, which has gone dormant because of the heat. It does that every year, and then that'll make a comeback in the fall. But I'll be collecting seed from this year. Little closer look at the Canada rye. It's a beautiful grass. And the perennial wildflowers, we have Indian blanket, brown-eyed Susan, black-eyed Susan, and a whole bunch of other ones. You can see another Indian blanket there. Everything is just starting to open up. It was just peeking out yesterday before the rain, and now it's going to go nuts. We have a scattering of sunflowers here. Those were all part of the annual mix. And you can see there is just tons of these annual flowers in here amongst the grass. I yanked the grass out here and there, but like that's not grass. That's a flower right there. So I let the grass get, as soon as it gets about 10 inches, I'll yank it out. But a lot of the grass will end up dying. Yeah, the majority of that stuff is wildflowers. little bit of lamb's quarter right there. But like I said, I go through here every once in a while and yank that stuff out, so it's not really a problem. This right here is an aspen tree. Yeah, this is going to be just gorgeous this year. Tons and tons of flowers coming up. I believe most of this stuff is cosmos, the real airy stuff, and that'll get, about 4 feet tall, maybe 5 feet, and 2 or 3 feet around. So all of the other flowers are going to come up kind of underneath that. Purple coneflower, no flowers yet. We got little blue stem, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them back there. That's in its second year, and it's going to start doing really well next year, but it's going to look pretty good this year as well. And again, we have purple love grass right here. This is doing really well. I'm hoping I get a big show out of this year. Oh, there's a flower. There's another tiny one way the heck down there, which is actually the first flower I've seen this year. That is crimson clover in the back. This right here, that has an interesting flowering pattern. It'll start flowering at the bottom like that and then work its way up to the top. Cosmos. Onion that kind of escaped, and I just let it grow every year. Not 100% sure what that is, but I believe it's native. Every year I seed this whole front part and a little bit into the back there, but seeds from this stuff end up growing all over the place. Like we got one right there. That's a cosmos, I believe. And when I was weeding, I said, well, I might as well just leave it. And I do that here and there. I got a couple right under the fence there that are kind of invading on the front area, but it is what it is. And another one right here kind of escaped. And I do believe that looks like corn right there. And I can't remember if I planted any here. Oh, you know, I might have. I'll let that grow and make sure it is corn, and if it is, which I think it is, I'll plant a few more out of that batch that I planted. This right here is smartweed, and this is ragweed. Don't need either one. And lamb's quarters. Yeah, it doesn't take too much weeding. As the weeds get a little bigger, it's easy to just pluck them out. And at some point, the whole area will get shaded in, and they become much less of a problem at that point. But you don't want the weeds to be the thing that's shading your other stuff in. Yeah, a lot of stuff got knocked over from that rain. You could see where the rain was coming down the road and just washing right over this stuff. But it'll recover really quick. It'll be recovered by the end of the day. Yeah, you can see it all knocked over there. It'll be recovered by the end of the day, and that's going to really help this grow a lot. More of the mini snapdragon. Got tons of them along the edge here. This is going to be one heck of a show. And we got a volunteer, looks like a black-eyed Susan back there. This one right here, that is a pale purple coneflower, which was on the endangered list a couple years ago. I don't think it is anymore, but I planted that one specifically And that's what we're going to be doing throughout the Oak Savanna project, is planting endangered prairie plants like that. All right, I believe this right here is purple love grass. I know this is side oats grandma, that's side oats grandma, and I believe we have purple love grass right here as well. This should be real interesting this year. The older prairie grasses are starting to take off, and this rain is just going to make these go nuts. These will all get, the little blue stem will get maybe 4 feet tall, and then the stalks will go up to maybe 6 feet. And the big blue stem, I believe those are big blue stem, that right there, and those two back there, and probably that one right there as well. Those will get up to 10 feet tall. And here is our Twilight Zone. It's unfortunate that we had such a drought after planting these, but they're doing pretty good. Get this weedy grass out of here. I think what I'm going to do is come here with the shears and just kind of hedge this little blue stem a little bit so this gets more sun. We'll do that in a little bit. And here's the Shenandoah switchgrass. 2 of them are doing really well. 1 of them died. All of them were treated exactly the same, so I'm going to see if I can get a replacement for that dead one from the company. Hopefully they'll do it. The perennial wildflowers are starting to bloom here as well. And we have tons of different varieties. I'll go into that more when everything is in full bloom, but you can see, I believe that's Indian blanket right there. I'm kind of walking on this stuff, but we got a lot of baby snapdragon and stuff all along the front here. This is foxtail. Get rid of that right away. And that right there, and that one back there. Those are all sunflowers, but they look very similar to pigweed, so gotta really watch for that. Okay, and here is the hot rod. Not doing really well, that one right there. This one's doing okay, and the one way in the back there, I should probably hedge that a little bit so it gets more light, like I'm gonna do with the other one over there. Yeah, I would say this one is not doing as well, but who knows? It should do just fine in the end. Tons of annuals going through here. These are mostly zinnias. There is a huge amount of volunteer grass growing in here this year. I'm not sure what type it is, if it's prairie grass or if it's yellow foxtail. I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it. All the bigger stuff in there is zinnias, and at a glance I really don't see much else but the zinnias. All right, we are getting into the sparsely planted area, but there are still zinnias all over the place. These are all zinnias. I'm gonna guess that these are gonna be much smaller because they're in really poor ground. We have fleabane right there. That's just red clover. Not sure what that is, but I'm sure it's a native. Yeah, some good sized zinnias back there. I planted all the way down to the T-post right there, and there's actually a little flower right in here that I'll show you, which is the first one I saw. All right, here's some cosmos, bunch of little ones too. That's gonna actually look really cool because I'm sure they're gonna have a smaller habit than the ones that are growing up there. Those are gonna be 4 feet or more tall. These are probably only gonna get 1 or 2 foot tall. Where is that little flower? Yeah, everything's much more sparse down this way. I saw that flower coming up the hill several days in a row, and it's probably faded already. It was a tiny little cosmos, and it looked like it was probably only 8 inches tall, and I believe it is gone. Yeah, it was right in here. But I believe that's what's going to happen with a lot of these cosmos that are down this way. The ground is really bad down here. They'll grow, but they're only going to grow a miniature version, which is just fine. The one that was down here is probably from seeds from last year. The seeds all just washed down through here. Let's have a look at the sand drop seed over here. This is the most drought tolerant of all of the prairie grasses, sand drop seed. That's it there, scattered throughout here. This one's doing the best, I guess. It looked real bad right after I planted it because it was so hot out. But now I've watered it basically every day. And now with this rain, it looks like it's doing just fine. And like I said, it's the most drought tolerant of all the prairie grasses. So I believe after now, I can just leave it alone and it'll be just fine. Hello, horses. Yeah, this is definitely big blue stem right here. Not sure what the one growing next to it is, but big blue stem has these big wide leaves like this. That's big blue stem. That is as well. And this is as well. And here we have our alleged buffalo grass. I planted this last year and then it got overtaken by yellow foxtail. I burned that off. Grass started coming back. I figured that was the buffalo grass. But I sprayed this with tenacity, and basically the entire thing turned white, which means it's not buffalo grass, as far as I know. The tenacity is not supposed to kill buffalo grass. And you can see a lot of that white stuff down in here. So what's growing here now is anybody's guess. I really don't know what buffalo grass looks like, so I can't tell you. I know that this right here, I believe that's Timothy. That looks like smooth brome. Yeah, that looks like smooth brome as well. So I don't know if any of this is buffalo grass or not. I'm gonna have to wait till it goes to seed. And then once I see what the seed heads look like, I'm gonna go and trim this whole thing back to, I don't know, maybe 6 inches or so. But it really looks like the buffalo grass planting was a bust. Yeah, kind of looks like I got everything but buffalo grass in here, but we'll see. Let's see what this stuff looks like. Yeah, it kind of looks like foxtail. If this is all foxtail, that's just going to be a disaster. And again, this looks like smooth brome. I don't know. And I'll wrap this little tour up with a walk down the trail I'm making here. It is really nice in here this time of day when it's still shaded by the big trees. It's just awesome. That is the prairie restoration so far. Hopefully later this summer I'll be able to work this way more, but we'll see. We're going to be building a wood shop this year, and I have a ton of other projects going as well, so this may just go on hold until next year. We'll see. Today it's going to be 93 degrees and incredibly humid because of the rain we had last night, so I am going to work indoors today. But next week, it's going to cool off dramatically, and we're going to get this whole platform cleared off and get ready for the wood shop that we're going to be building. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.